know why we're going to win this thing on November 8th? It's this right here. This is so awesome, guys. This is so great. And he is going to win. There's no question about it.
Landslide!
And guys, not only are we going to win, we're going to take back our country. We're going to take back our country that's been run so poorly by career politicians. It has to stop. It just has to stop.
Drain the swamp!
We will drain the swamp. We will absolutely drain the swamp. You know, I have a great father. I have the greatest father in the world. He's played every role in my life. He's played the father role. I used to go to school every single day. I'd go kiss him, goodbye when I went to school, and he'd always say, Eric, no drinking, no drugs, no smoking, and you better get good grades, right? I mean, he just had the biggest heart in the entire world. I was 6 years old. I didn't know what drinking was. I didn't know what smoking was. I definitely didn't know what drugs was, and I wasn't really taking tests at that point, right? I was 6 years old. I was like coloring blocks or whatever you do when you're 6, and so I didn't really know what grades were, but he's played that role in my life, and he's played that mentor role in my life, and we've worked together for the last 12 years building great hotels and golf courses and everything else around the world and around the country, and now I'm fighting by his side because I believe in the man, and there's no smarter man, there's no person who fights harder.
Yeah!
And you know what? This country needs a fighter. This country needs a fighter. Because no one's fighting for the American people anymore. Hey guys, I can tell you one thing for certain. If we had amazing politicians in place, other than the mayor here. Mayor, thank you so much for introducing me. Thank you. We need more people like him. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If we had amazing politicians in Washington, D.C., my father wouldn't be in this race. He wouldn't be in this race. We'd be doing the greatest deals together. We'd be going around the country. We'd be doing what we do. He'd be enjoying life because he's kind of earned it, and he's become the epitome of the American dream in so many ways. He wouldn't be doing this. The reason he's running is to step in and save our country from incompetent and crooked people. And that's what you have in Washington, D.C. Look at the problems, and I talk about this all day, every day. Look at the problems that we have as a nation. We have $20 trillion worth of debt. $20 trillion. It's gone up by $11 trillion under President Obama. For all the young people here, the $11 trillion that our deficit has increased in the last 7 years could have paid off all student debt in this country 7 times over. 7 times over. We wasted $6 trillion in the Middle East. $6 trillion. And you see what's happening in Syria. And you see what's happening in Libya. You see what's happening in Iraq. You saw what happened in Egypt. We wasted $6 trillion in the Middle East. That's enough to pay off all student debt, every dollar of student debt 4 times over. But again, we wasted in places of the world that are a disaster now. We just gave $150 billion to Iran, a country that hates our guts. And guys, it's terrible. It's terrible. We've got $20 trillion worth of debt. We have an educational system in this country that's ranked 30th in the world. Think about that, 30th in the world. We're America. Everything we should do should be number 1 in the world, not 30th. We shouldn't be 30th at basketball even. I mean, we should be number 1 in the world at everything we do because that's who we are as Americans. But education, this is the future of our country. This is beautiful girls like the one right there, and I see so many young people in the audience. We have to be number 1. We have median... We're going to get in office, thank you. We have 95 million people in this country that are out of work. There's more people on food stamps in the United States than ever before in history. Since Bill Clinton signed NAFTA, we've lost 70,000 factories. 70,000 factories have left the United States since Bill Clinton signed NAFTA. We've lost 1 in 3 manufacturing jobs since 2001. They've left this country. Median income hasn't gone up in 15 years. People are making less money today than they were 15 years ago.
Yeah,
that's not the American dream.
Nightmare.
As people work harder, as people get older, they should be able to make more money. And we can't, because you know what? All our expenses have gone up. Our taxes, we're the highest taxed nation in the world, by far, not even close. It's crazy. You see Obamacare. Who here has been affected by Obamacare? I was just in Arizona. In Arizona, premiums went up 116%. Think about that.
It's affordable.
It was called the Affordable Care Act. I'm glad he said that. It was labeled initially the Affordable Care Act. Then it became Obamacare. You know what Hillary called it? She said before it was Obamacare, it was called Hillary Care. It's called Hillary Care. And here's the promise. Your promise was you're going to be able to keep your doctor, you're going to be able to keep your plan, and that the average family was going to save $2,500 a year. You know what the reality of it, you didn't get to keep your doctor, you didn't get to keep your plan, and the average family spends $4,500 more a year. And we're all private sector people, right? We're all civilians out here. I'm a civilian. I want nothing to do with politicians. I think, quite frankly, so many of them are bad people. Right? In Washington, D.C., I'll caveat that. And when you see it, if any of us had made that promise that we were going to implement something that you were going to get to keep your doctor, you'd be able to keep your plan, you were going to save $2,500 a year. In fact, President Obama said that healthcare costs would be less than your cell phone bill. And the reality, the exact opposite happened, where you didn't get to keep your doctor, you didn't get to keep your plan, and the average family was spending $4,500 more. Any one of us would have been fired, but there's no accountability in government. There's no accountability. Who here's a veteran? It's incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, we're going to take amazing care of our vets. We are going to take absolutely amazing care of our vets because the VA is leaving them 100% behind. But I was in Denver a couple days ago. They were building a VA hospital in Denver. It was supposed to cost $500 million. You know what the cost of the hospital is now? It's budgeted for $500 million. They're at $2.1 billion, and they're 3 years behind schedule. It's a 90-room hospital, 90 rooms, $2.1 billion, and 3 years behind schedule. And you know what? The person, whoever's in charge of this crazy deal, who went over budget by $1.6 trillion, who's 3 years delayed in Washington, D.C., will probably get a promotion. And I can tell you, under a Trump administration, that person would be out so quickly their head would spin. You know who else has been totally left behind in this country is law enforcement. We're law enforcement officers. Our law enforcement, they are the greatest men and women that we have in this nation, and they need to be thanked, and they need to be protected, and they have been so poorly treated, and that's going to end day one. It is going to end day one. So thank you for everything that you guys do. It really means the world to us. So thank you. We need to build the greatest military in the world. It's just that simple. We have the lowest level of troops in modern day history. We have the lowest level of ships in modern day history. Right? If you look at our strategic bomber, the B-52, is designed in 1950. We're flying a plane that's 65 years old, and this is the bomber made to protect our country. And you look what they're doing in Russia, and you look what they're doing in China. You look at that new fighter jet that they just released a couple days ago in China, and it's scary. We have to have the strongest military that the United States has ever had times 10, and we need to start working on that yesterday, and we will. And guys, there's so many other things. I mean, there's so many other things. Healthcare, education. We need to end Common Core. We need to build that greatest military. We need to protect the Second Amendment. There's no bigger Second Amendment advocates in the world than us. I mean, we have to protect the Second Amendment in a very, very big way in this country. And we also have to protect the things that we believe in as a country. We have to protect Christianity. There is an assault in this country against religion, and not just Christianity, religions of all sorts. There's a total assault on religion of this country. You see the WikiLeaks emails where they're making fun of evangelicals, they're making fun of Christians, they're making fun of Latinos, they're making fun of everybody in these WikiLeaks. You see that Donna Brazil was giving the debate questions to Hillary Clinton ahead of time. Could you imagine if somebody gave my father the debate questions ahead of time? I mean, they would shoot him, they would execute him. I mean, it's unbelievable, and they don't even say anything. It's unbelievable. But our country is under assault. our religion is under assault. It is so beautiful to hear the Pledge of Allegiance up here, because you know what? Our Pledge of Allegiance in this country is under assault. I had a friend who has a beautiful little daughter, and the kid came home with a piece of paper from school the other day, and it was a form that allowed a parent to opt their child out of saying the Pledge of Allegiance. And it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. You know what, guys? We're going to say Merry Christmas again. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance again. In God we trust will remain on our currency because it's been there for the last 200 years. We have to protect the things that we care about in this country. We have to get the corruption out of Washington, D.C. And we have to start working on behalf of the American people again, because you know what? America's lost a voice. America has lost a voice while career politicians have enriched themselves. Bill and Hillary came out of the White House and they claimed they were dead broke. Today they are worth $250 million. $250 million. And guys, it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. So we're gonna make this country strong again. We're gonna have the best military in the world. We are gonna have the best VA in the world. We are gonna protect Christianity and the religions of this country. We are gonna protect law enforcement in this country. We are gonna take care of our national deficit. We are going to take care of our educational system that is leaving so many behind. And guys, we're going to make America proud again. We're going to restore respect. Get out to the polls. For the sake of our country, we have to win this. Go vote. It is so important. Vote early. Get everybody you know out to the polls. And I promise you, Ivanka and Don and myself and my wife, and literally, you know who's fighting for my father? You. Us, the American people. You know who's fighting for Hillary? Career politicians. Career politicians. President Obama flying around on Air Force One on your tax dollar bill. They're the ones. We're the ones fighting for this country, and we're going to make America great again. Guys, go out and vote. Thank you so much for having me here today.